Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, December 15th, and this is episode number 835. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is sunny here in Los Angeles, and I'm not going to lie to you. I just sat here in my chair trying to figure out how to start this episode for the last hour. It has been a horrific weekend, to say the least. And from the Brown University shooting to the Australian, um, shootings to the just god-awful news yesterday of Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle being murdered. And in this day and age of social media, it's just a machine gun of bad news. And it is just an awful, awful feeling. I can't even imagine what everybody that's been affected, their families are going through, friends, and with Rob, us being fans of his work. I just, I don't know what to say. And, you know, it's all bad. It's all bad. And it's in this, month of December where you're trying to celebrate and be joyous. We're coming to the end of the year. It's Hanukkah. Christmas is coming. Whatever you celebrate, family members come together, friends. And, it's just usually just a massive love, just a massive love fest. And this weekend is just horrific. It is if that's what it is. It's beyond horrific. And if you try to put any kind of political spin on anything, that's even more evil than anything, just constantly squirting lighter fluid on the fire. And it's I always try to keep it festive, but sometimes you just can't fake. I can't sit here and just be like, "Oh, hey everybody, awesome." It's just it's not awesome at all. It is completely awful. And you know, I really don't know what to say. I will say this. Rob Reiner, who in, a lot of people's eyes, including myself, was somebody that really was, opening the doors to really kind of liberal love. And you could be there and be like, libertards these days and all of that and woke and whatever you want to say. But back in the 70s, as Meathead, he was the original anti-homophobe, uh, anti-racism. And off the screen, he preached the same. And it really taught people like me a lot of stuff between him and Carol O'Connor and that whole group. That show taught me how stupid one person could be and how great the other three could be. And it was amazing how Carol O'Connor was so into that. You know, he just loved to put this stuff in people's faces and show you how dumb some people could be. Beautiful show. One of the best, probably, I would say, probably the best comedy sitcom TV show of all time. The writing, the acting, the characters, the topics. And Rob really was amazing. For all the way back then, I was just a kid and I'd be like, oh, this guy, meathead, he's going to get it from Archie. He's going to say something that's going to piss Archie off. And man, they would go at it. And it's amazing that it's been all these years and there's still Archie bunkers out there. It's just amazing how small-minded and racist and homophobic people can be. It's just crazy to me. I love that show. Rob Reiner, the amount of comedy he's put into the world is unbelievable. I was looking over some of his, deepest stuff that you might not know. I never knew this till today. He wrote the first episode of Happy Days. And that was a show that changed my life, especially the first season. And I had no idea. This guy's talent was massive, massive. Of course, me playing music, when Spinal Tap came out, it was just like, wow, you know, uh, just a classic quoted all these years later, right now, like 40 years later, stuff in there completely said every day. This amp goes to 11, you know, the first mockumentary, one of those movies where no script, kind of in a Larry David fashion. Let's just go off each other, full ad lib. And and then to go on through with his directing career, Stand By Me. Um, that film is just it's just beautiful. Lots of stuff. I just wanted to give a some some amazing stuff that I didn't know about him. So it's hard to really think about it. It's really kind of shook me up that how much insanity happened this weekend. It's really crazy. He wore a wig on All in the Family, of course. He had that crazy hair, toupee in 1971, All in the Family. Um, he got on the Walk of Fame, his star right next to his dad. That's cool. Did not know that. Unbelievable. He has directed three uh, Academy nominated actors, Jack being one of them. Unreal. Let's see here. Penny Marshall married Laverne back in the day. Lived across the street from each other when they were growing up. Beautiful. Also, man, like to move to that neighborhood. You might have a long life in show business, man. Just think about that. It's crazy. Let's see here. his father had met Carol O'Connor when O'Connor first met the young, unfamiliar actor who was living at the house where Reiner's father was at the time, director of the Dick Van Dyke Show. Unbelievable, this family. Um, then Rob goes to UCLA, digs into a a fierce career in movies and TV. Unbelievable. When Harry Met Sally, another just smoking film. I mean, this guy, it's crazy. Had his own production company, Castle Rock, doing his own films. Best friends with Richard Dreyfuss in high school. Just imagine that. Then later on, you end up directing him. You go to high school with Richard Dreyfuss, then you guys are making a film together. Talk about the dream, you know? Born in 1947 in the Bronx. Just brutal. Man, just brutal. Anyway, I mean, I just it's awful. I don't know, man. I don't know. We gotta do better as people and stop fueling the fire of the insanity of the hate out there. It's crazy. I can't even believe what the president posted, after this awful tragedy happened. It's unreal that somebody could just post something that awful. I'm not even going to repeat it. You can go Google it or whatever, but it's just nuts that somebody always makes something about them, something as bad as this. It's crazy. I don't understand. I really don't understand how, it's just tough to get up each day and get hit in the face. Anyway, go celebrate Rob. Watch a bunch of his movies this week. Take in his insane talent, his beautiful spirit, his love for everyone. Man, that there's just nothing else to say. It's just awful and God, I can't believe that it can get this dark. It's crazy. Anyway, yeah, I don't really know how to jazz up the show. I'm gonna do the show and try to, cheer you guys up. If you're feeling down, you need a laugh or whatever. I hope I can provide it. I was out there on stage all weekend. I can feel it. Brown University shooting, Australia, people are just, you know, they're not numb. People feel this stuff. It goes on for a long time inside you. So let's see here. I'll get into some stuff here. I will say, I I got a record that might make you feel good. And I heard a song from it last week, and it reminded me of just how incredible this record was when it came out. It came out in 1999, and it's Shelby Lynne. If you have not heard Shelby Lynne's I Am Shelby Lynne, I'm going to tell you right now, this record is straight up a masterpiece. And it's 36 minutes of incredible songwriting. I believe that it needs some more glory. I think it might have won a Grammy back in the day, produced by the great Bill Bottrell, who did the first two Sheryl Crow records, and it has some heavy flavors of Sheryl Crow, but I think way more deeper songwriting and and really interesting musical landscapes and flavors. It's got some kind of singer-songwriter, but then it's got some full-blown R&B, and then it's got some rock and roll. This record I cannot recommend enough. And for, I would say, 6 months when it came out, I listened to this record weekly, all the way through. Opening track, Your Lies, then two is Leaving, Life is Bad. I believe the radio song was Gotta Get Back. This record is unbelievable. And I am telling you, do yourself a favor and go listen to it if you missed it the first time. And I heard it on Sirius XM about a week ago, and I was like, God, man, I haven't heard this record in a few years. It is unbelievable how good it is. And Bill Bottrell, really just a genius songwriter and producer. Big, big, heavy hand in that Tuesday Night Music Club um, Sheryl Crow era. First two records. I haven't talked to Bill Bottrell in, I don't know, maybe 25 years or something. But after he did the Shelby Lynn record, he started working with me and my band. And we went in and did some songs with him. And it didn't end up working out. But this guy really, really can make a record. And I want to tell you, I Am Shelby Lynn will be a great, great surprise for you if you have not ever heard this record. What label was it on? Let me see what label this was on. Shit, Sony. I don't know what it was on back then, but there is a 25th anniversary of this record with, I guess, a remix that came out in 2024. So dig into that. I Am Shelby Lynn. I just wanted to give, sometimes I hit you with some new music, but this probably to a lot of you will be new music because you might have missed it the first time around. Once again, I am Shelby Lynn, and man, it's good. Yesterday in the morning, I was seeing some hashtags Rolling Stones all over my feed. And I was like, what's this? So I clicked on it. I was like, well, I was figuring they were announcing a tour or something. And it turns out it was the opposite. There was, now I don't know, this is all hearsay. And some of the big, deep, deep Rolling Stones super websites were saying that there was a tour that was kind of booked for 2026, not out in the open, but on the down low, and of Europe. And the Stones were going to go do that. And then these people here, hold on, let me read it. They said, oh, the tour got canceled. Now, this is all hearsay. I have no idea, but I started digging into it and got a little worried that, uh-oh, is something wrong? Excuse me. Is something wrong with Keith or Mick? That's the immediate thing that you're going to think. And then I started asking around. Now, had worked with the Stones for years, but I wasn't just going to come out of nowhere like, hey, what's going on? Is somebody sick? But I was really worried about that. Apparently, they've got a new record coming out. Now, I don't know if that's real, but Ronnie had kind of dropped that off. So here you go. These are the kind of the tweets that were going around yesterday. And it was basically, you know, from super fans, the super sites. So here you go. Rumored Rolling Stones tour 2026 six is off. Um, and then people started picking up on it. So one guy said, "Thank you, Rolling Stones, for the long, incredible years of touring. I met so many friends at your shows. You're the greatest live act." And then this started coming up in my feed nonstop of like, people going, damn, I never saw them. Doesn't look like they'll ever tour now. Because if they're not touring in 26, that would mean 27. They would be, I believe, 83 years old by then. This is the original tweet that I saw. Newsflash: the Rolling Stones will not be touring this summer and probably never again. This is what has been announced all over the place for the last few hours. Sad to know I won't feel this adrenaline anymore. That was a kind of a super fan that put that up. And so I did some snooping around, and somebody hit me back and said, I won't say who it was, I won't say anything about it, but they said Keith didn't want to play Europe all summer. That kind of makes sense when you're 81, 82. At some point, I think that people say, I'll play till I die. But I think that there has to be more than just your standard Rolling Stones tour again. Now, if you're Keith and you've been playing since 1964, you've toured America, you've toured the world for, 100 years, and somebody comes at you and goes, how about 26, these summer tour dates? And you look at it and you go, you know what, man? I've done all that. I've pretty much played every venue. I've played every country. I've played 70% of our catalog on stage. I think at some point you have to, reinvent it, come at it, whether it be a sphere residency, something. I don't know. I've often said that I would love to see them end their run the way they met. So I can see it at the Sphere. And it's just Mick and Keith. And the set is the train station. And Keith seeing Mick with these blues records and going up and going, hey man, this is some good records you got right there. And then they start the friendship there. And you just start to see from the ground zero acoustic guitar and Mick, and start playing the songs that they were listening to when they met, and then get into some of the first songs they wrote together and carry with photographs and videos and movies in the sphere of their career behind them and all over. If you've been in the sphere, you'll know what I'm talking about. And wind the career down that way. Almost a storyteller's, kind of like that Springsteen Broadway thing. I think that's what's really kind of kept Springsteen really fresh, is doing stuff like the Broadway or an acoustic tour or the multiple things that he's done in his career to constantly try to, try stuff instead of going out and playing Europe, eight stadiums in the summer of 26. I could see Keith going, you know what, man, I'm kind of digging being here with Patty. We're both still alive. We're out here in Connecticut just chilling. I'm gonna take one of my cars for a spin, you know? It's so wild to think about Keith wanting to just chill. And I get it, man. I've done a ton of shit, and sometimes I think I just want to chill. People are like, wait, what are you gonna do after your show? I go, I'm going home. There's two things I love to do: comedy and walk around my neighborhood with my dog. Occasional motorcycle ride with Bill Burr, and just enjoy, you know, mellowness. It's fucking wild. You could just burn it up. And it's not like getting old. It's just kind of, I compare it to done a lot of shit, done a lot of stuff. And I think you have to go out there and do a ton of shit to realize how great it is just to do nothing. You'll never know if you don't go do a bunch of shit because, you'll be like, oh, God, those guys go out and do stuff. And it's like, well, go do it. And you'll realize whatever you're doing is great. Just chilling. I'm not watching TV. I'm just talking about chilling. Maybe some songs on the stereo and a walk around the neighborhood, grandpa style, just talking grandpa, getting close to 60. Anyway, so we'll see what happens with the Stones. But if they never play again, I will tell you that I've seen them hundreds of times. That's no exaggeration. I think it was 110 times or something when I added it up. It might even be more because I did the 4 years touring with them. So I saw them every night on that. And that was back when they were really fucking hitting it hard. I figured it out. So it was '02 to '06. And I think they were in their 50s or 60s. 60s. Yeah, 50s. I thought about like, man, how could they do this tour? One of the tours I think was 84 days. And I realized, oh, well, they were 50 years old. I've done no, sorry. I've done 300. Let me get this. This year, this is how many shows I've done this year. And I'm going to be 60 next month. Did I tell you I'm going to be 60? I don't know if you know this, but I'm going to be 60. The reason I say it all the time is it fucking blows my mind that I made it to 60. Okay, I've done 349 shows this year. I'm 59. Um, so I could probably do 1,000 shows if I had the crew and the money and the private everything that the Stones have. It'd just be like, oh, just keep me out there. Keep me out there, man. Get me some retirement money. So, anyway, if they don't play ever again, like I said, the Stones have been some of the greatest nights of my life watching them on stage, whether it be Tattoo You, whether it be Steel Wheels, whether it be the 40 Licks tour, any of these Stones shows that I saw, Beacon Theater, the Astoria. I saw Stones in clubs. I'm talking fucking clubs on that special run where they did a club, a theater, and a stadium. I think it was in '02, 3, or 4, 5 or 6, whenever that was. I saw them 2 feet away. You don't understand the magnitude of how fucking fierce they are when you see them in a club. You just go like, oh my God. Just the way Mick turns it on in a club. Boiling hot, people just fucking sizzling. And he just comes out I mean, because he's so used to being big in a stadium, but he can bring it down and just focus on people in the crowd. And you're like, that fucker's looking at me right now. He's singing Worried About You. And just the falsetto coming out, Worried About You. It's unbelievable. Huge, huge, huge run from this band, from these two guys. I put on Exile yesterday. Some would say the all-time greatest Stones record. It's too hard for me to pick. Exile, Sticky Fingers, Some Girls Tattoo You. Those records right there, I could not live without. Right there, that run. Sticky Fingers, Exile, Tattoo You, Some Girls. And depending on what type of mood I'm in, a different one would be number one. Lately, it's been Some Girls. Just fucking Slayer record. Unbelievable record. And just think about in between those, you got like Goat's Head Soup, you got Black and Blue, you got It's Only Rock and Roll. These are no fucking sleepers. No sleepers. But when you got a record like Some Girls or Exile or Sticky Fingers, everything about this band in the late 60s up to Steel Wheels is just pure art. Whether it be Warhol doing your album cover, whether it be in south of France escaping your tax payments on Exile and writing a song in an old rundown mansion, having people like, you know, Beatles or Clapton or people like that stopping by. Hey, how's the new record sound? John Lennon chilling, survived massive drug addictions and the law and the industry being ripped off completely by your first manager. Unbelievable. These guys are the last soldiers right here of the old superstar. I mean, we got the Who. I just saw the Who. You got Robert Plant out there doing it at a high, high level right now. And the Stones, I think they went out in 24. Anyway, so if this is it, thank you. Thank you for the incredible memories. I cannot even imagine what it would be like in a world that if we never had the Rolling Stones. Just the songs alone. Every day they're on the fucking radio. 50 of them at least get played on the radio every day somewhere. So thank you. Speaking of Sirius XM too, I only really listen to Sirius XM when I'm in my car. I just love it. I'm not advertising for them. I just love all the different channels. But my comedy record got accepted to Sirius XM Channel 99, Raw Comedy. Now, this is beyond huge to me. I've basically been doing comedy for 16 years. The industry has not once ever looked at me and said, hey, we got something for you. The comedy industry, mostly because of age. And in the amount of times I've heard no or heard nothing, which is even louder than no, I have kept going, mostly not out of being delusional, but looking at each year getting bigger and bigger, and each year absolutely loving what I do. So it does not matter in this world of podcasting and Patreon and YouTube. And Instagram, TikTok, it doesn't matter who says no. As long as you say yes to yourself, you will be able to do whatever it is you want to do. People say no. It's like, well, who are you? You don't fucking, you don't even know. You're just the fucking button pusher. That's it. So now the special that I made, Bill produced, Marcus Price directed, I wrote and performed what I feel is one of the best specials of 25. Not noticed anywhere. Vulture put out the top specials of 25. LA Times top 33 specials of 25. Not noticed at all, but zero anger. And mostly that's because I know how that works. You got a manager that gets in somebody's ear. This person's hot. We're going to be working with them. And then, oh, they're in the top 10 this year. And just my special on the look alone, just the look alone, and the artistic, you know, integrity of it, what went into shooting a special in a cave in the middle of Tennessee and getting all of the fans out there and doing this beautiful special. Just that alone, it should have been in the top 33, but zero anger about it because I already know what that is. Well, who was that back in the day said if I'm in your top 10 list, you know, I don't want to be in that list, because it's not, now look, if you had somebody say like somebody that you really respected say, hey, dig your special, which I have heard from people, that is way more monumental than some website that said, oh, here's the top 10 specials. Anyway, my point of that is no anger there. I'm doing my own thing. And now SiriusXM has accepted the special for audio tracks on the Raw channel. And man, I can't even tell you what that means to me. If somebody's cruising in their car and they hear me after, say, Fahim Anwar or Bill Burr or, a Norm Macdonald bit, and then my bit comes on, and you're in your car and you've never heard of me, and you go, who's this guy? This is pretty funny. That is fucking insane to me, you know? So, anyway, I just wanted to say thank you to SiriusXM and thank you to you guys for watching the special and on YouTube and sharing it and everything. It's just a fucking dream come true. I had to put that out there. It's just crazy. Uh-oh. We got the barker. We got the barker. Gertie Barker. Gertie's either snoring or barking, which, by the way, if you were listening a couple weeks ago, I have made the decision to get the second dog. She is not here yet because she's going to get fixed and then she will be here. So I don't really want to start, you know, I want to wait till she gets here and then I'll introduce you guys to her. And it'll be a great new year. A great new year. More stuff talk to you about Patreoners. Speaking of support, I want to thank you guys right now. A lot of new Patreoners. Munger, Munger, out there in the UK, has subscribed to my patreon.com/Dean Delray. Spatz, Spattz. What are you doing? Come here. Spatz Stephen DePoli, thank you for joining. Jorge Garcia, Kenneth Hayward, Charlie Jinkles. These are all new Patreoners. It is blowing my mind the amount of support I've got this month. Jason Jeffrey, Ryan Fox, and Mark, just Mark. And I want to thank you guys for joining the Patreon. I've been doing bonus episodes. There's a lot of them up there, over 180 right now. Also, I want to tell you this. The Bon Scott Bash tickets are on sale now. The Patreon people had the first shot at it. They've bought a bunch of tickets. There's a few VIPs left, and then there's a bunch of regular general admission. Get on them. February 3rd, Bill Burr and I, let me read you the list of players so far, okay? Here you go. It's going to be Bill and I doing comedy for the first hour of the show. And then it's going to be a full Bon Scott tribute, the last one. We got Josh Homme, Queens of the Stone Age. He is joining the AC/DC Bash. Jakey Lee, the legend Jakey Lee. First of all, hold on, let me back it up again and just tell you that Josh fucking Homme, all right? Just take that in. It's just mind-boggling to me, this list of people that are going to join. Lur, the legendary Lur from Primus, will be there. Gene Simmons. Now, I can't even fucking begin to tell you what this means. Gene Simmons is going to play bass at my AC/DC tribute. The reason I'm alive is Kiss and AC/DC. I saw Kiss, I saw AC/DC in the 70s, and I was like, that's it. I'm going to be a rock and roll singer. In the great words of Bon Scott, gonna be a rock and roll singer, gonna be a rock and roll star, gonna be a rock and roll singer, gonna be a rock and roll star. Not bad for just waking up, right? Yes, I are. I love that line. Well, I worked real hard and got myself a rock and roll guitar. I'm gonna be on top someday. I'm gonna be a star. Mike Inez, Alice in Chains on bass. If you haven't been to one of these, we rotate in guys. So we have different bass players, different drummers, different guitar players. I sing pretty much the whole show. Billy Rowe from Buck Cherry Jet Boy, who's been doing the Bon Scott Bash with me since the beginning, along with Josh Z, lead guitar from Protein. He's been doing it since I started it in the beginning as a young kid. Brad Wilk, Rage Against the Machine, Audio Slave will be playing some drums. And Bill Burr will be playing some drums. Steve Gorman from the Black Crowes, formerly of the Black Crowes, that is. He will be playing some drums. And then we've got some other secrets that I can't really announce yet that will pretty much blow your fucking mind. Tickets, DeanDelray.com. It's at the Avalon Theater in Los Angeles, across the street from Capitol Records. If you're flying in for the gig, I recommend that you stay at the Adler Hotel. It is about 2 blocks from the venue. It is a fantastic hotel, and it is the site of the famous 101 Cafe where they shot the great movie Swingers, which is now called Clark Street Diner. So you can walk if you're flying in for the gig, stay there. There's also a few other hotels right around there that you can walk. Now, if you walk to the gig, that means you can walk home all fucked up. Just be like, that is killer, man. Fucking, they didn't play fucking Shot Down Flames, man. What the fuck? I fucking, was killer though, man. They did fucking Let There Be Rock. I'm putting the set list together. I got it right here. It's in front of me. It's kind of a rough outline of it, but it looks pretty fucking good. And thanks for all your set list recommendations last week. They were really fucking good. Really good. Um, Back to a few more things here, which by the way, thank you for tuning in today. It's just a fucking rough day. Oh, uh Sheila Mars. Sorry, I missed her. Sheila Mars, a new Patreoner. Um, I was walking down the street in my neighborhood to go to a coffee shop, and I saw a guy wearing a basket case shirt. And immediately I was like, oh my God, basket case. It was just a fucking classic 1982 movie. If you haven't seen Basket Case, it's basically this kid was born with a twin, a Siamese twin, and the doctors cut it off and scarred up one of the twins, and he carried him around in a basket. And it is a fucking classic B horror film. That and It's Alive, which I looked up It's Alive and it came out in 74, which I can't even believe it's that old. I saw It's Alive in the theater. Anyway, Basket Case is a must watch, or It's Alive. I was talking horror films with the lady that runs the Avalon, which by the way, I want to give a shout out to the Avalon Theater. They've been hosting the Bon Scott Bash for years. It is by far one of the greatest theaters in the United States. It is so state of the art, and the guy that owns it, John, is unreal. I mean, this guy is unreal. And so I'm talking with the woman that runs it, and she's like way into horror films. It was wild. I always laugh when women love horror films because they're so scary. They're like, oh, I don't want to look, but they love watching them. It's like serial killers. Like, I'm tuning into this. Anyway, so Basket Case, I'm going to try to watch it this week somewhere. Uh, Maybe YouTube or Amazon. I can run, but I got to watch it again. That and It's Alive. Um, just the way those were shot back then, like Chainsaw Massacre, Basket Case, It's Alive, the way the film looks is so fucking cool. Trying to figure out why it looks like that. Like old shows, like old movies. And, it's like the less, we're all 4K, 5K, 8K now. The less K, the better it looks to me. I think it just looks like some amazing, I don't know, Quentin got there pretty close on those scenes where Leo's going crazy in the Airstream when he's drunk. Like, I fucking forgot my words. I can't fucking believe what a loser I am. What the fuck? I'm so fucking stupid for fucking up my. I know the fucking lines. That scene. It looks like an old 70s movie there with the Amber, which, by the way, I went to the Cliff Booth, Adventures of Cliff Booth rap party. David Fincher, talked to him a little bit about some cool stuff. And I got to go to this rap party, and I could really, really feel the incredible energy in this room of everybody that worked on this film. I'm so excited to see it. And I could see, I'm just looking at these people going, fuck, man, here's a movie everyone wants to see. And you could tell they were all fired up that they worked on this film with the legendary David Fincher, written by Quentin. It's a spin-off of the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood character that Brad Pitt plays. Holy shit, I can't wait to see this. They filmed some of it in my backyard. I think I talked about it. Full fucking gun shootout. Anyway, I got to talk to Fincher, and what a solid guy he is. I worked on some projects years ago that he was involved in. It was all, I think it's already been like 20 years. Okay, about to get out of here. I'm going to leave you with this. Saturday, I went to see The Shining on IMAX. I've been trying to go to the movie theater a lot this year. I want to support the industry. I want to see movies in a theater. I don't want to watch them in a house streaming. I want to get out. I want to be amongst people and I want to see it on a big screen. Unfortunately, I can't eat candy anymore, but I do miss just diving into some Juji fruits and then red vines and then a box of Raisinets. That was my fucking demon. I'd get all three of those fuckers and polish them off in a 2 hour movie. Red vines, Juji fruits, Raisinets with a Diet Coke. Because I'm watching my figure. Diet Coke after all that. I never fuck with popcorn. Now, if they have caramel corn or that other one, what's that other one called? The corn with the salt and the sugar, kettle corn. Oh my God, I fucking love some kettle corn. Anyway, so I went to see The Shining at the Chinese theater. I've signed up for the IMAX.com. They're doing all kinds of reissues. Um, the last one I saw was Jaws, and then this, like last month, and then this was The Shining. Now, I have not seen The Shining like Taxi Driver in like 30 years. I saw it in the theater originally, and then I bought it on VHS tape, and I watched it a bunch back then on VHS tape. And then when I sold the VHS player and the VHSs, I never saw The Shining again. So Bill and I rode to the Shining Hotel in Colorado a couple years ago. And I was like, I love this movie. But I hadn't seen it so long. So I'm watching it and I'm really watching it now as an adult and a Kubrick, um, fan. Stanley Kubrick, just, knowing what his films, the run that he did and the legacy of this man. And I got obsessed with The Shining after seeing it. Now, first of all, the Danny kid, Red Ram, could be one of the greatest child actors, hands down, that I've ever seen. As I watched this, I realized I was like, this kid is killing it. His first movie ever. And it is so fucking, believable what this kid's doing. And he did it like two films after that and then never worked again. And I realized why. Yeah, because he worked with Stanley and Jack out of the gate. He won the Super Bowl on his first fucking try. Not going to get any better than that. So, anyway, I watched The Shining on Saturday, 3 in the afternoon, and it just blows my fucking mind how great it is. And then I dive deep now into these YouTube videos, and the conspiracies are nuts around this movie. At one point, Danny, the kid's wearing uh, you know, a rocket, the space rocket that went to the moon that Stanley filmed. You could tell he made that fake moon landing movie, and then he's putting it in our face by putting the rocket on the kid's sweater. Then some people think it's a full spin on the Holocaust. Another thing, people think it's these are all conspiracies around a movie. People just, everything's a conspiracy. And then other people think it's about the Indians, the massacre of all the Indians in America. I mean, and I have not seen the documentary Room 237, which I'm going to watch tonight. But I've been watching these videos of these people that dive deep in, like 30-minute videos of people, and you're watching it going like, who the fuck could... Now I go to The Shining, right? I sit down, I watch the movie, and I go, God, that film is incredible. Not once do I sit there and go, you know what that is? That is that is a spin on the Holocaust. That's what we're seeing right there. Like, what the fuck are you on? I'll tell you what that is. That is called, you know, going cuckoo from being hibernated for 5 months in a fucking giant hotel with your wife and your son. Try doing that. Look how many families go insane on a weekend trip to Disneyland. And you're saying that it's a spin-off of the a massacre of the Indians? To me, it just looks like a bad camping trip. And then, there was all this crazy dark shit this guy was bringing out. I was like, oh, come on, dude. It is pretty radical. I will just say this, no matter what you think about the movie, what your thoughts are, these conspiracies or whatever, this is a fucking masterpiece. And to think that Stephen King hated it is just hilarious. I read recently that he eventually liked it, probably because it's considered one of the top 20 films of all fucking time. But uh, my point of this is get out there and see movies. Get out there, man. It is great to be in the theater. Oh my God. Tony Baker, a good friend of my comedian, he feels the same way. Just and I won't go to the movies with anyone that has their fucking phone on. I mostly go by myself because I just can't trust you. You eventually got to put that fucking phone in your face. No. Anyway, Tony Baker, a great comedian, follow him on Instagram. He feels the same way I do. You go in there and you escape and you watch a movie, no matter what, it just takes me back every time to seeing Bad News Bears or The Godfather or Jaws or anything, The Exorcist, anything I ever saw in a theater, just that beauty of the big screen. And IMAX is just another level to see The Shining. And Stanley, man, I can't wait to watch, Full Metal Jacket, 2001 Space Odyssey, stuff like that. Just rewatch his catalog. Still have not seen Eyes Wide Shut. I'm going to watch it this week on the Criterion channel. I believe it's on there. So I need to watch it. I have not seen this film. Before I get out, I want to say if you're doing any kind of holiday shopping, I want you to support small businesses. There are people that have incredible shops in America, and there are people making amazing stuff. I've featured them on here for years. Brian the Bootmaker, Free Note Denim. Find these people, support the shit out of them. Only buy your stuff from them. Don't go to no fucking Walmart or mall. Buy something handmade. Buy something original. Buy something that the person is going to have the rest of their life, not some fast fashion shit, whatever. Go somewhere, find out, Self Edge, Standard and Strange. Find a store like that that sells, Japanese denim or handmade boots or a handmade leather jacket. Or if you're not into clothes, whatever, find a painter that's painting right now, a Kevin Christie out there, and have him, paint you something to put in your house. Support a band. Immediately go to their website and not anywhere else and buy some merch from the band, a record, a piece of vinyl from them. Go and support your mechanic. Take your friend's car for a holiday gift and get it tuned up. Support your local mechanic, not your big fucking, machines. Whatever. There's a lot of ideas, small coffee shop, buy a gift card for your friend. Mine's Maru, you know. I couldn't imagine not being able to go to a small coffee shop and just chill and listen to my sets and meet people and look at people. That a lot of my jokes are wrote in a coffee shop. Support indie movie theaters. I've been going to the Vista, um, Tarantino's theater. So anyway, this is going to keep the soul of America and put the big hammer on these corporate cunts, as Billy Boy would call them, cunts. It's funny. It's like a word I probably used like 8 times my entire life. Just never really a word that I went to. It's such an East Coast thing. Ah, look at these cunts. Huh? I always felt cunt was an East Coast um, word. It wasn't flying around the West Coast. I guess because we were libertards. Anyway, I love all you guys, man. Hug a friend, candles lit.